guys, these sessions are recorded. So this is our Sunday Market Blitz. So we're going to go through all of the analysis for the week. Looks like we've got Nick joining up right now. So let's get Nick in here. I'm going to get him set up. But yeah, hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We're about to get back into it for the week. Here we go, Nick.
There we go.
What up? What up?
I have a voice. What's
He's
going on?
back. He's back for another week.
That's right, guys. Not quitting just yet, right?
Another week in the markets.
Good to see all you guys. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys got some time to analyze, prepare for the weekend. If not, we're going to get into it as we do every Sunday. It's another Sunday Market Blitz, guys. Just another one in the books.
Yeah, so we're about to just go through all the analysis for the week. Just take a look at pretty much everything that me and Nick are looking at for the week.
And it's looking pretty good. I mean, we got some decent movement. External factors that we should be aware of that, it's just there's an election going on. So the US dollar is going to be a little extra speculative. So we could expect some movement, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We have two trade scenarios on every pair.
The elections definitely coming up is going to be serious, but we can't, worry too much about that yet.
Yep.
This week, we got to just stay focused. There's definitely some good opportunities. So we're pretty much going to just run through some market structure. We're going to run through where we're going to get on potential entries, levels, everything like that. So if you guys have any questions, just put in the chat during the session.
All right, cool. So let's just get into it. Let's start ripping through pairs.
You want to go first?
Yeah. I'll start off on DXY. It's a good place to start.
Yeah, get started with DXY. There we go.
Hold on 1 second. All right, cool. All right, guys. So we're looking at DXY here. And for those of you that don't know what DXY is, it is just the US dollar currency index. So this here is just the dollar represented on a chart. And we're analyzing this because we want to see where the dollar is going because it makes up for 80% of all trade. It is considered the reserve currency of the world. So it's kind of a good idea to see what's going on with the dollar because, again, a lot of pairs, kind of follow suit with that. So as you see, the dollar will start to trend a certain direction. You'll see AU start to move and so on. Most USD pairs. So what we want to do is we're going to do a little bit of top-down analysis, just starting on the daily, though. I just want to see the overall trend, the whole transition, where we're at now, how strong this trend is. Is it kind of, consolidating? But we could see that we were bullish, went bearish. Now we're consolidating down here. And it's looking like it's continuing lower, right? We had a nice pullback. Resistance was here at this zone, pretty much 94 flat, just below it. We had a pullback. Didn't really have, any significant high or low after this break. So it was a false break, pulls back down, starts testing resistance again, and then starts moving lower. So definitely bearish overall. But to find a trade setup, we got to drop down again. So we're going to go to the 4-hour and kind of mark up some potential trade scenarios, trade opportunities.
Yeah, it's looking very bearish.
Yeah, very, very bearish. So here was that pullback, guys. This would have been a confirmed break if we saw a higher low. So if this rejection here had continued pushing up, some sort of bullish setup, some sort of maybe higher time frame, a bullish engulfing or Morningstar, something like that. Just something rejecting this as new support was needed, and it didn't happen. So it came back down, and then you see it found resistance multiple times, and then just pushed lower, gave us a lower high, and then dropped. All right, so now we're kind of in a new zone right now. So we are looking like this is the break and retest. We just broke a daily higher low, so it's a daily break of structure. We're now bearish on the daily time frame now, bearish on the 4-hour as well, higher lows that were broken here. So a lot of bearish movement. So all that we really need to see right now on this, we can go to the 1-hour. We're very close to taking a short opportunity here, guys. So what we want to see essentially is just a nice lower high. Like it just gapped up here, let the volume kind of pick up a little bit, find some sort of, reversal pattern to enter on, bearish engulfings, anything like that, evening star, confirm lower high, That'd be enough to enter on and then target lower. But and I mean enter, like you're not gonna short DXY. I'm just saying enter because you'll see a lot of similar patterns on other pairs. We'll get to that in a minute, but this is an ideal, bearish leg, bearish, short here. So let's go back to the 4-hour and go over the bullish scenario. So it makes a lot of sense, right? If this were to keep pushing lower, it's looking like it's going to. This is where we're going to find ourselves, down towards this monthly zone. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that. We'll be watching DXY very closely this week, but expect some volume. Definitely expect some volume on USD. I don't think it's going to be kind of a sleeping giant this week, so to speak. So definitely looking bearish first. But if we do get bullish momentum, what needs to happen for us to change our bias from bearish trend to a bullish trend? And that simply a higher low back into this pattern above 93 flat, preferably above this 4-hour zone as well. And then we would look for price action to move back up towards this 94 handle, where we'll just reanalyze and kind of do a two trade scenario analysis again, where we're looking for a reversal or break and retest with some sort of confirmations. All right, so that's DXY looking into the week. Not bad. Definitely had rougher weeks, but yeah, this is looking very, very bearish. Clean break and retest. To end
Yeah,
last week.
even go down to the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, see, it's right now it's just bearish on every time frame.
So we're right here. We got MA cross. It gapped up, but this doesn't have any significance yet. We really need to give it some time, and then we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be a good level to break back above to look for buys once it breaks up there, because
If it,
it just sells all the way. So really below this level, guys, we're just looking for sell opportunities.
yep, and that's going to translate into some of our other pairs. So let's get into AU. So if DXY is bearish, we're looking at generally AU is bullish, right? Because if the US dollar is dropping, AU is going to appreciate in comparison to the dollar, and then represented on the chart, it'll be a bullish trend. You'll see price action moving up. Okay, so first pair AU. Let's go to the daily time frame to start. All right, so we were bearish over here. We broke these sets of lower highs, which are the weekly right here, and then so that was a weekly change of trend from bearish to bullish when this happened. I hate this auto scroll. All right. So had a nice trend, came back, tested the structure that it broke at the weekly zone. Also this monthly pulls back, tests the daily structure that it broke, comes back down, gives us a higher low. So we're kind of consolidating on this time frame. We have to drop down to get a closer look on the 4-hour to really, come up with some decent trade scenarios. So overall, we're bullish. I mean, the weekly time frame is bullish. We had a weekly break of structure, so that trend is bullish. The daily is bearish. The 4-hour is bullish. So, I mean, I think it could, if it does continue with this little bullish trend, and we see DXY drop, this play right here, this bullish play, is definitely going to be, our first trade that we're looking for. So, to enter on this, just want to see a push above 71.5, preferably closure above the 200 EMA, and then a higher low above that as well. That would be a nice entry, and you could target first into this daily zone. But again, depending on how severely the US dollar drops, we could obviously, target new highs, but that's our first target, this daily structure zone right here. Okay, so if we do get a higher low there, it's about 50 pips to this zone right here. So could be a decent trade. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But the flip side, let's say this goes bearish. This one is super clear cut. We just want to see a break of this 4-hour again out of this little ascending channel. There's lower time frame, higher lows in here. We just want to see all that break, these MAs as well, closure below that, and then enter on some sort of bearish setups, and then target lower down back into this monthly zone and this weekly zone. So let's just go to the daily to see if this makes sense for a second as far as targets go. So yeah, this is like essentially a range. So either way, it could easily make a push up to this daily zone. If we get some breaks of higher lows, we could definitely make a push lower down towards this monthly. So yeah, I mean, we got to just really see how this one plays out. It's a little too early to tell.
Yeah, I actually have this one marked up too, and on the 4-hour, it's definitely bearish on the 4-hour time frame.
Mhm.
So to your point, like I'm looking for it to break a similar level that you have. You have it looking to
70.
break above like the 200 day on the 4-hour time frame. Like I'm looking for it to break above there to be bullish.
Right.
Anything below that, like I'm looking for the same level to break 7,100.
Yep.
So right now I'm realistically looking to be bearish on this until unless we do get much higher. So that same level that you have, I'm looking to break on the you have it marked as 4 hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. We're waiting for, price action to tell us something. I mean, this isn't the strongest ascending channel right here, so this type of reversal is definitely likely as well. And at the current level, this is definitely key resistance. So that's why, we could easily see a short opportunity present itself as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's AU.
Yeah. And on the daily, even on the daily with this, it's like forming a lower high on the daily. So this thing's looking bearish.
A little bit right here. Again, this key zone. We really got to see how it reacts here. But yeah, not too far away from either way, to be honest. I mean, if we get a nice little break lower, lower high, enter, break higher, higher low, enter, and yeah, we'll see. We will see. All right, so next pair is AJ. Daily time frame to start. Let's zoom out. All right, so this is pretty much just still bearish. As long as it's holding at this monthly zone, this is bearish on this time frame. Even though we did technically get a change of trend once this lower high was broken, you see it's labeled weekly break of structure. This was a higher low, got a nice little trend pushing up into that monthly zone where we saw that rejection, and then a change of daily trend as well after this higher low right here was broken. So we are definitely in an interesting zone. Let's drop down and get a closer look. Okay, so this is that daily higher low that was broken. So bearish on the daily, bullish on the weekly, bearish on the 4 hour. Definitely looking bearish overall, just on this time frame alone. So, as long as we're at this 4 hour resistance level, it's bearish. Looking for shorts, looking to enter on lower highs always. Preferably, on a break of this 1 hour, get a nice little lower high below that, something like that. Target lower back into that weekly structure zone. But if this does consolidate and then just push higher, we will consider long opportunities if and when this 4 hour zone is broken and retested. Confirmed higher low. Looking to enter on something like this right in here. Okay, and then target towards the top of this range. So yeah, this consolidation is pretty crazy. Definitely bearish. This is a huge push, huge rejection right from that daily zone, also monthly zone. Just kind of melted right through support and then just consolidated. So yeah, we really got to see how it reacts here. We're getting these like minor level breaks here. So like, look, this is a lower high on a 1 hour. Price action popped above it. Now it's testing it, holding a support. So it just keeps kind of flipping back and forth. That's why we really want to wait for, a significant break of this 4 hour or some sort of nice lower high, something like this. It's like a push lower break, and then you need the conviction down towards the weekly. But yeah, we'll see. Let's go to the daily real quick, double check, see if our targets make sense. Okay, so there's a lot of rejection off this 200. Guys, lots and lots of rejection off this 200. So, we could see a reversal. Again, we're ready for either way, so either scenario. But again, nice higher low above this 4 hour zone would send us into a long position for sure. Yeah, look at all those wicks though. That's definitely a nice slow reversal right there. All those wicks. And then if you just look to the left, I'm looking for other scenarios where we saw a lot of wicks, how it reacted off the 200 especially. But yeah, anyway, so these are the two scenarios on AJ. We will see lots and lots of rejection from here. But yeah. All right, so that's AJ. Next is UJ. Daily time frame. This has just been super bearish, guys. Every time frame is bearish. Giant descending triangle patterns. Price action just getting squeezed. Lower high after lower high. Key support for this whole structure, this whole pattern is at 1045, where we're seeing price action touch right now and getting kind of squeezed into it. So this range is getting more narrow and more narrow, which means a move could be imminent. We could get a very large pop of this pattern and, could send us to new lows, but we'll see. So let's drop to the 4 hour, get a closer look. Okay, so that's a major support, 1045. This was the last lower high here. We had a nice little break of this higher low. Price action shot down to the support, 1045, pulled back. This is an 88.6 retracement because we fed from this high to this low. This is an 88.6% fib level. Also a nice advanced head and shoulders here. Continuing with the overall bearish trend, just kind of rejected this 106 handle perfectly. Dropped, pulls back through the MAs, gives us that right shoulder to enter on, crossing back through the MAs, below through the neckline, which is also our 4-hour break of structure. So now we were able to refib, and we found a little bit of rejection off 104.5. Nothing that significant, to be honest. But it pulled back enough to hit 38.2. So from here, is this the real pullback? Could it, it didn't pull back through the MAs. That's something that I really like to see. Pull back through the MAs and then across on like a bearish engulfing or something that we could then enter on. But I mean, it could just be, a strong trend, could push lower. We'll see. Either way, we're looking for a rejection of the 38.2. And at the absolute most, this 4-hour level right where the 61.8 is, this is still technically a reversal zone in here that we would be interested in potentially taking shorts at. So as long as we remain below this 4-hour, we're looking for shorts. It's definitely bearish. But we just want to try and capture that bearish leg that's going to break this support, because it could run for well beyond this target down here at the -27. It could really push a significant amount, because this will be then a large higher time frame move. We definitely find ourselves somewhere in the middle of this range here, but we'll see. We will see for sure. We just want to make sure we do catch that large move. That would be sick. All right, so let's say let's say price action reverses here. The dollar goes long, and this trade becomes invalid. The short opportunity becomes invalid. What needs to happen for us to consider a long opportunity? Just like this orange arrow shows, break, retest of this 4-hour zone with a higher low, enter on a bullish setup, and then target back towards the prior high at 106. And then after that, we'll reanalyze and come up with more trade scenarios. So either way, I mean, this is looking good. It's got some good movement, crazy good volume. I mean, this drop here was like, what was this, 120 pips? Not bad at all. Let's
Go
see
down
the high.
to the go down to the lower time frame.
100 pips. I just want to see the measurement here. So this, 100 pips still got some room to fall. We'll see. What'd you say? The 30-minute?
Yeah, go to the lower time frame. 30-minute. Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of bouncing.
Oh yeah, that's actually in prime. You would definitely need a break. You have that 1 hour, the 104.600.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice
guys. So if that level breaks, if we see anything like he has it marked as a retest, or really just depends how price action forms at that level. But that would definitely be the point at which we would start to enter. So if this thing basically just continues to trend downward on the 30-minute.
Yep. We'll be taking entries definitely on a break of this 1-hour zone.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, could be something pretty good early in the week on this. We'll see. Again, guys, if the US dollar drops a lot, even if it gets down towards the bottom of this trend line again, down here, we're gonna see some pretty large movements on USD pairs. Like UJ could definitely find itself way down here.
Okay. Yeah, enter based on levels and price action.
100%. All right, so that's UJ. Cool. Let's move on. We got EJ and gold left. EJ is looking pretty interesting, slower moving, but it's in a nice range right now. So let's get to that. Zoom out. We were originally very bearish up until we got a break of these lower highs right here, which was then our weekly change of trend, weekly break of structure, nice rally, higher low, and then continuation into our monthly zone where we got a nice slow reversal. You can see we have a high, a new high, lower high, break of a couple higher lows, also a major support zone. So let's drop down, get a closer look at that. So here's that slow reversal. These 3 highs right here, nice lower high, and it broke these higher lows here on this push. So that's the daily break of structure. So weekly's bullish, daily's bearish. Okay, and then the 4-hour is bullish right here. So it's kind of just stuck in a range. It shot lower, it hit the 61.8, broke these lower highs, pushed up, tested this daily again, gave us another 2 lows, 2 highs. So it's kind of ranging right now. I mean, you could always trade the range if you want, if that suits your style, go for it. Whatever works for you. I don't like trading ranges. I always like catching a continuation of a trend or start of a new trend. So I like the break and retest. So a nice, ideally, I would like to see a break of this daily, higher low, and trying to set up into this monthly zone. And this is EJ, so we got a pretty big range here, 170 pips. So definitely a lot of movement that we could see coming out of EJ. We are in a slight little trend here in this range, so that's why I kind of have us favoring the bulls and then the overall trend in mind. But yeah, we have a nice little higher low, so we'll see. Does this have the momentum to rocket through our daily zone? Maybe. We'll be looking for that entry right here on that higher low.
Go up to the daily on this.
All right, and then 1 second. Let me just, because I'll jump up for targets in a second.
Oh, okay, okay.
If we do, if we do consider a bearish opportunity, we just want to wait for a break of this 4 hour, right? We need to get below this support level, get below these higher lows, and start forming some lower highs. And then we could take this short. Again, probably the same target, 200 pips. Crazy amount of pips coming out of EJ. But yeah, guys, I mean, either way this goes, it's in a range right now, but whichever way it goes, we'll be there. We'll be ready. In the meantime, if you do want, again, you could definitely trade the range, but I don't recommend it. So let's jump up to the daily zone, daily time frame, kind of check our zones and see if this makes sense as far as targets go. All right, so here's a 61.8. Let's say this is a continuation. This was just a pullback. We're looking to go long. This trade makes a ton of sense. This would actually probably be like target 2 or 3, or target probably at 2 or 3, because this could even exceed if it's playing by the fibs up towards this -27. All right, so that could be a nice play there. If it does continue lower, and this is just a nice lower high, tons of rejections, we get another lower high somewhere down here. Definitely get a nice short back into this weekly zone, right? Pretty clear. I mean, the thing with EJ is it just takes a long time to develop, So like, look how much time it's spent in here, right? 35 days, just over a month to make this reversal. You know what I mean? So it's a good amount of time. And let's say it's been stuck in this range for just about 25 days. So maybe, maybe it's got 5 days left in it. Maybe it's got 3. We'll see. Either way, it's towards the end of this consolidation. So, let's see. We'll wait it out and see what happens. All right, so that's EJ. Let's wrap it up with gold here. The fan favorite. Daily time frame to start. Bullish as hell, guys. Super, super bullish. Got a break of 1800, shot straight to 2070, and then started pulling back, giving us some lower highs, because that was one hell of a move. Yeah, this was just a crazy surge. And then just pulled back, formed support at 1930, eventually broke that, retested, and then started going a little sideways within this new range. So let's go to the 4 hour, get a closer look at this. Okay, so this is that. Let me zoom out a little more. So this was that rally to 2070, came back, lower highs, formed major support at 1930 right here until it finally broke it. Came down to form to hit the 61.8, form structure, and then pulled back, broke this 4 hour lower high. So 4 hour trend is bullish, daily trend is bearish, but anything higher than the daily is bullish. All right, so it's going sideways. This is a sideways moving, asset that we're trading right now. We can't really do much with this. Again, if you are a scalper, trade the range, buy every low, sell every high within these two levels. Do what you got to do, but conservatively, with good risk management in mind, I want to wait for a break of this, either the break of this daily or the break of this 4 hour, and then base the trade on that. But if this does continue to stay bullish based on the higher time frames, we're looking for a higher low above this daily zone. Nice break back above 1930, and then we're long again, guys, targeting towards prior lower highs, and then ultimately towards 2000 and higher. So this could be one hell of a rally if we do get this break. But yeah, gold's always a fun one. Definitely, if you guys want to trade gold and you haven't traded gold yet, start on a demo. Make sure you're using the app Stinu, and you're using a fixed percentage, 1 to 2% per trade, because it's definitely tricky to trade, but also very interesting. So check it out, guys. Start on a demo if you want to trade this. I've definitely made a good amount on gold. So let's just go over this bearish opportunity first, and then I'll pass it off to Angelo. So if we do get some sort of bearish movement here, we do want to wait for a break of this 4-hour, lower high below it, and then we'll short on some bearish setups targeting towards this weekly zone, and then we'll reanalyze at that point. So we're just going to check targets here, the daily time frame. So if it pushes higher above this daily zone, see how short this target is, guys. It could definitely go much higher. All these lower highs in here as well, up towards 0%. So yeah, definitely could be a nice rally coming out of gold. We'll see. But if it does continue lower, it breaks major support here. If we see any lower high below this 4-hour, definitely looking for short opportunities all day long into this weekly and then 1800 potentially. So we'll see. We will see. So quick recap, covered DXY. Let's put this on the 4-hour. DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold. All right, so I'm gonna pass off to Angelo. He's gonna get into some others.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Cool.
All right, so I see in the chat when doing top-down analysis and drawing structure lines, which time frame should we stop drawing? So we do most of our we do our key levels on the monthly and the weekly time frame, and then we just do most of our technical analysis on like the daily and the 4-hour, and then 30-minute is really the lowest we're looking. 30-minute 1 hours for entries. So that's the breakdown of sort of how we look at different time frames. All right, so you went over AU, I believe. I'm gonna move that down. You see my screen?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna start with GU. So we're gonna start all the way up, guys, on the monthly. So what I'm seeing here on the monthly time frame is, I mean, very similar to previously. We're basically coming back into these highs right here. We did have a bearish engulfing candle there. We are blue over red. So buyers are in the market, but we did just form a serious level of resistance. So as we come back into that level, we'll most likely look for sell opportunities again. Right now, what we're seeing pretty much going into this week is we're above the moving averages here on the weekly time frame. Last week did engulf the previous candle, not convincingly. Got this huge wick here, so seeing some resistance, but buyers were in the market last week certainly. So down to the daily time frame, pretty much we're just in this bullish trend here. We're still above the moving averages in the daily time frame, so this is pushing upward. As we go down to the 4-hour time frame, again, is very bullish. So we just formed this high. Now we're in this pullback. As we're in this pullback, we can look for short opportunities more intraday. So more over the next day or so, we could look for this thing to continue to be bearish. But long term, we are looking for it to find support at some level and continue with this upward trend into that resistance level up here. So into this weekly resistance level that we have up here. So right now, as we go down to the 30-minute, when would I short this? I'm waiting for a pullback here, so waiting for things to pull back. Right now we're hitting 38.2, so this is definitely a good level. If we just get a bearish engulfing like through all of this right here, we just get a lot of bearish price action coming in, then we'll easily sell there. So that's one opportunity. We'll put stops probably in this area depending how it all forms, and then we'll start to target these the Fibonacci levels, the projection levels here. So this is a little trade opportunity on GU that's coming up. Until we break this high right here, we're not going to do any sort of buying. So once we break above this level, that's when we'll start to look for buy opportunities. So that's GU. Let's get over now to UCAD. Let's bump all the way up. Or USEF, let's bump all the way up to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, we are falling, red over blue all the way. We're in a downtrend. We're last week closed with a lot more sellers in the market. So this thing is coming back now. But we did form a bullish engulfing at this level here. So this did become a level of support down here. So last time it came back in this blue area, buyer stepped in, took this thing to the upside, brought us, shot us up. So is that going to happen again? What would need to happen for that? Like based on price action, what would need to start to happen for that to come into play? So as we come on the daily, still, very much bearish, broke below support here. 4-hour time frame, bearish all the way again. But we did just form structure right here. So we just formed this lower high at this 38.2 level. So below this level right now, we're looking for sells. We're looking for sell opportunities, even though we have support here. If we break above this level, that's when we'll start to look for buys. So this is pretty much the two scenarios right now is we either need to find resistance of this level or break above right here. So as we can see, last week closed very much bearish. If we go all the way to the 30-minute time frame, we can see a little bit more immediately where we would try to look for entries. On this, we get like random line, this right here. And basically this thing is breaking bearish, just formed a lower high. So if we respect this level, this 200-day, we could see a short opportunity come like right here. I'll just adjust this. So this just breaks it down to the lower time frame, what we would need to see to enter early in the week. If this breaks above here, then I would flip up time frames and start to look to see how it reacts to this level. The 4-hour potentially it's finding support here. So that's two sides of the market right there on USEF. Let's go over to NZD USD or Euro USD. So monthly time frame, we are at this weekly key level. So previously a lot of selling and buying at this level, a lot of liquidity at this level. We formed a bearish engulfing candle right here. So this is definitely a resistance level that we just met. We're pretty overextended here on the monthly. So as we go down to the weekly, we can see we're just at this high right now. Previously, we came into these levels up here and fell and sold off, but this all looks very bullish down on the lower time frame. Down on the daily, looks very bullish, just broke resistance, moving averages are crossed, and then 4-hour time frame, again, looks very bullish. We just broke, made a higher low right here. As I break this down lower though, so we did form a higher low, but we want to see the lower time frame since this is so early on here. And if we were to fib, this is what we would look for every time. This is what would be considered like a very clean transition, clean setup. Is we have the 4-hour, we just hit 38.2 bullish and go like morning star here, bullish variations all through the moving averages. Now, as we get under the 30-minute, we could see that the 30-minute didn't break structure yet. So the 30-minute needs to break this level, this lower high, to actually give us an opportunity to enter on this to go long. So this thing's getting ready. It just needs to break above this level more and then have a little bit of a pullback there just to be very conservative, like just to really trade by the rules here. This would be early. It could just reject here and just head lower. So that's the two scenarios right now in EU. Really is going to come down to this level early in the week, whether we respect this level and head lower, or if buyers step in, we'll buy this. So that's EU. Let's get over to UCAD. Start up on the monthly. All right, so monthly time frame as we're moving time frames, red over blue right here, quick, just one look right on this time frame, red over blue. So we're crossing, a lot of bears are stepping in. And as we move down time frames, we're just consolidating at this level right now. So on the lower time frames, this is just consolidating. So it's just bouncing between these two levels. We'll take a look at that. We still are red over blue here, so still very much bearish. We do have some room to head lower. So let's go down to the daily. So daily time frame, again, forming downtrend structure. As we break this all the way down to this area, we're just consolidating in this range. I want to break it down even more. 4-hour. So 4-hour, this is just the main time frame right now that we can look at structure and make sense of everything. Is we are in a downtrend. We just made this lower high, came down. Now we could potentially pull back up, break this level. So as long as we're below this level, I'm looking for sells. So anything on the slower time frame that starts to break structure, head lower, I'll probably just sit on the 4 hour and wait. But I am looking for this thing to head lower. So anything below this level, looking for sells. I took this off because I didn't really think that it was necessary, but we do bring on like a trend line. As we can see, we just have lower highs and lower lows. So this is certainly a trend to the downside right now. So we'll see if that's gonna continue. Let's go to NZD, USD. We'll go up to the monthly. All right, so monthly time frame on this, we're retesting these highs. The moving averages have crossed, but we're overall very bearish. We could easily reject this level, and we did get some rejection of this level already. So as we work down time frames to the daily, basically we have these highs right here that we're coming back into. In my opinion, this is looking like a weakening trend here. We're coming up. We have this spinning top candle, just low volume wicks to the upside. So we could certainly reject this level that we're coming to. This is that weekly level that we drew. We could definitely reject this level and head lower. So pretty much on the 4 hour time frame, I know we're pushing higher. We're heading in this like uptrend structure. I'm even just noticing that we could really be in this flag. So as this thing pushed to the downside, this is just flagging now. So it's just climbing, but it's very weak, climbing to the upside. Most likely these are continuational patterns. So this would push to the downside if this were to continue with this pattern that's going in right now. For that to happen, for us to enter right now, we're all the way at these highs on the 30-minute. We're all the way above these levels. Pretty much where I'm going to look to sell right now, guys, is when this level breaks. So when this level starts to break, considering we're at the top of this channel, that's what I'm going to look to sell. If this thing starts to continue to climb higher, all of a sudden a lot more buyers step in, then we'll bump back up to the 4 hour. And remember exactly where we're at. 4 hour, we're just at these highs. We're still like very overextended. So we're just kind of looking for potential sells on this, just to continue with this flag. So that's NU. And again, guys, like multiple pairs can have different analysis. The technicals can line up differently, and it's okay. Whatever way DXY ends up pushing, we'll just go with the trade that lines up with that the best. That's pretty much going to be a very solid confirmation for us. So that was NU. Let's go over now to GJ. Let's bump up to the monthly. So monthly time frame on GJ, we're still very much bearish. We just engulfed this previous candle. We're actually crossing blue over red right here. So as I work down to the weekly time frame, this is actually a lot of buyers are currently stepping in on that monthly, but as we could see, this thing is crossing. It's finding some resistance here. It's really losing volume right here. So this is the weekly. As we work down to the daily time frame, again, we had this big push down. Now we're at this level that we're finding some resistance at. So I'm not really looking to buy anything at the moment. As I work down to the 4 hour, this is where I have my structure mainly. So 4 hour, we have this fib drawn from this level. This is our point A to our point B up here. We came all the way down to 100%. This level was broken right there, or we could say just tested right there. Came up, we're starting to form this lower high. So I'm really looking for this thing to continue to fall over and to go bearish. So I am looking for GJ to continue to roll over and go bearish. And as we can see right here, this is certainly very bearish on the lower time frames right now, just forming lower lows and lower highs. So I wouldn't enter until this thing pulled back, potentially to this level, this 200-day, rejects this level, forms another lower highs. But GJ, I am looking for this thing to continue to go bearish. We got a little bit of a test at this level. We're going to have support. We're going to have this 200-day, but, we'll see how it reacts there. So that was all the analysis that I have. Went over yeah.
I want to see the daily time frame.
So I went over GJ, GU, USEF, EU, UCAD, and NU. Let's see. We got why are you using Am I using MA? Yeah, exactly what Hansino said. Yeah, so the MAs just show momentum, guys. Was the best time frame
Yeah,
favorable?
we just use them as one confirmation.
Yep. So as you guys can see, I mean, we use all the time frames to the best of our ability. Ideally, we want every single time frame to line up. We are playing each time frame into the other. So
Yeah.
as the 30 minutes falling over into a downtrend, the 4 hour could still be in an uptrend, and we could be going into a major level that we're looking for price to get to test. So it's all, it all intertwines, like it's all related. You just have
Yep.
to read from the time frame and try to line up the overall trend so you can actually get momentum in your trades.
And it's actually very methodical, especially in the way we teach it too. It's just we start off at the very basics and we start layering things until we get to a more advanced session where you're able to mark up a whole chart like this, and it pretty much takes you from a blank chart through top-down analysis, kind of breaking down every time frame until your chart eventually looks like this.
Yeah, I mean, the goal for anyone just trying to learn technical analysis and to trade is you got to get to the point where you're making your own analysis and you're creating an edge where you can actually make some decisions and enter it on trades like comfortably. So we're just running down like our top down analysis. And then as things get closer and we look for entries, then we're just going to make decisions based on price action, what it shows us. But the point is, like, we have all of our technicals really lined up to point us in one direction, and ultimately the goal is to be right in that direction more often than not, just have an edge with what you're looking for. So, the first step is definitely, like Nick said, it's like broken down into, you got to learn like the basics. You got to just learn a little bit about each tool. And then it just comes down to how do you put those like fundamentals together where you could actually like weaponize it and like use it and like make sense of what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's all the pairs we've got for you. So next time we're going to see you guys is Tuesday for the live trading sessions. So that's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yep. And we're still doing this discount on our course. So if you guys are interested in learning more, it's on sale right now, 40% off. Everything here is included. So if you guys want to get involved with this promo, I think there's about 5 spots left. So we did 10 spots. So just shoot me a message and we'll get you guys started with this. And yeah, as always, we appreciate you guys showing support, staying around for the session. For those that did miss it, it is recorded, so I'm going to post it on YouTube afterwards, and we'll see you guys Tuesday at 8 a.m. for the next live session.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you then.
Peace out.
Peace.